flurries linger, I'll let you know what conditions you can expect for the morning commute.
And an exclusive interview with the king of late night, Jimmy Kimmel.
David Letterman is a bigger influence on me than either of my parents.
How he was inspired by an Indiana legend at 11.
Now, the news at 11 on RTV6.
Now at 11, we are following breaking weather news as every single state in the country falls to freezing temperatures. Snow and ice are covering more than half of the nation, and what experts say is weather typical for January, not November. We have live team coverage around the nation tonight, but we start first with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. He has the latest on our forecast and when the warmer weather will make a return. Kevin?
There's nowhere to go but up, Erica, just to show you. You mentioned national temperatures. It's 25 in Atlanta, 17 in Minneapolis, and cold everywhere in between. Right here in Indianapolis, there's the key. A south wind holding temperatures right now in the teens will be steady or only drop a couple more degrees between now and the morning. Snow flurries continue, but will be ending during the overnight. The wind is calming down now before it kicks up tomorrow, and then temperatures in the teens will quickly begin to warm up. So not as cold as what we had during the morning hours this morning, but still quite cold for this time of the year. 12 in Peru and Muncie, 13 in the metro area. The wind chills for kids at the bus stop, 0 to 5 above. Temperature by 8 a.m. pushing 18 degrees. Then we'll make our move in the afternoon into the 30s. Snow showers possible along I-65 first thing in the morning, Lafayette to Chicago. That pushes quickly to the north and east by 9, and by 11 o'clock starting to leave the area. So we'll put our chance at snow showers about 30%. Here are the highs tomorrow, above freezing thanks to a south wind. I'll show some big temperature swings in the forecast.
And right now we're dealing with cold temperatures, but parts of New York are dealing with more than 3 feet of snow, leaving entire cities blanketed with hundreds of miles of highway shut down there. Ed Drench from our Scripps station in Buffalo joins us now with the very latest. Ed? We're having some technical difficulties with that story right there, but we will keep a close eye on the weather overnight and how that wind will affect the way you dress tomorrow. We'll have live reports starting at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana. Plus, you can find the latest school delays and closings on our website, theindychannel.com.
Turning to a developing story tonight, a man is scared for his life after Metro police say he shot and killed an armed robber. It happened today on the city's northeast side, and police say this fear of retaliation is an ongoing problem in their efforts to deter crime. RTV6 reporter Ebony Monet has followed this story since the very beginning, and she is live at police headquarters with the full story for us tonight. Ebony.
Metro Police often say they need the public's help when tackling crime. In fact, they say if you see a crime, report it. It's part of their ongoing See Something, Say Something campaign. Well, this afternoon, a man saw something and he acted, and now he fears for his life. Police tell us he was inside of Cash America on East 38th Street with about 6 or 8 people, customers and employees, when 25-year-old Tyree Allen walked in, put on a ski mask, and pulled out a gun and ordered everyone to the ground. We spoke to another man, a customer at the time, who tells us he was there watching it all and actually backed out of the store as other people hit the ground.
Well, I seen dude walk away from the side, and I guess he was going in to rob him, and I got out to see what was going on, and I heard some popping, a whole bunch of gunshots. I looked in the glass, and he was dead. He was on the ground with his gun, just face down with his gun on there.
Authorities tell us Allen was recently released from prison for another robbery, and they say while it's avoidable, the fear of retaliation is a real problem. In fact, they say about 60% of the non-fatal shooting victims refuse to cooperate, and one of the main reasons they say that they will not cooperate is because of fear of retaliation. Reporting live outside of Metro Police headquarters, Ebony Monet, RTV6.
Tonight, we have new details on 2 deadly fires within hours of each other. We start with a woman killed in the 6700 block of East 20th Street. Tonight, investigators tell us 45-year-old Michelle O'Brien died in this afternoon's blaze. Firefighters say flames filled the front rooms of the house, and it took them several minutes to get that fire under control. There were not any working smoke detectors in that house, and 2 of O'Brien's dogs also died in today's fire. We've learned this is IFD's 18th fatality of the year. A fire in Shelbyville also claimed the life of 1 person this morning. We're told flames broke out right after 8:30 in the 800 block of 4th Street. When firefighters arrived, they were met by family members who said someone was still inside. We've checked with investigators, and so far there is no word on the identity of the victim or the cause of that fire.
We have new developments tonight as a woman accused of shooting her husband while he lay naked in bed pleads not guilty to all charges. Investigators believe 42-year-old Nico Bryant Williams murdered Eric Williams on August 7th. But it wasn't until last week that police arrested her for the crime. We're told it was actually her 19-year-old son who turned her in. He claims his mom started crying and confessed to him about a month after the murder. And new tonight, a Colorado man will soon be extradited out of Indiana to face charges for killing his wife. Today, Bloomington police arrested 34-year-old Thomas Fallis and charged him with second-degree murder in the death of 28-year-old Ashley Fallis. Investigators say she was found dead on New Year's Day 2012 due to an apparent suicide. But earlier this year, the case was reopened and reclassified as a homicide.
Turning to our streets, our stories, and tonight we're focusing on the near west side where your neighbors are working directly with police to stay safe. This is the area where Ben Davis freshman Dominic Allen was brutally killed almost 3 months ago. Tonight, Public Safety Director Troy Riggs and Police Chief Rick Height addressed the crowd about recent crimes. Then they listened to community members who shared their ideas for turning one of the city's high crime neighborhoods into a community that fosters economic and social development. Tonight, Fallen Officer Perry Wren is getting a new honor as the city gives a canine companion his name. Today, Wren, a golden retriever Labrador puppy mix, was introduced by the Indiana Canine Assistance Network. We're told the young lab will be trained to help people with disabilities like autism, diabetes, or post-traumatic stress disorder.
His job will be to help those who are struggling and help others enjoy life in a way they could not before. It's an amazing organization that does work with these animals. And in a way, this simple concept is what Officer Wren brought to everyone that he came in contact with, as we all know.
Wren will head off to the men's prison in Pendleton, where certified DOC inmates will begin 18 months of training. He will then head to the women's prison for 6 months of finishing school before he starts his real work to assist people with disabilities.
Covering the Capitol for you tonight. On their first day back on the job, state lawmakers are raising awareness about domestic violence. Today, House leaders announced plans to donate to the Indiana Coalition Against Domestic Violence throughout the next year. Members and staffers will contribute items like blankets and cleaning supplies. They also plan to raise awareness through weekly public service announcements on the House floor.
The statistics are alarming, and even more alarming, we turned 1,700 women away last year, men and children, because we didn't have space in our facilities, and we need to make that different.
The House Speaker tells us increasing funding for victims of domestic violence is a top priority.
Tonight, we're covering education. We have just learned the IPS School Board has approved a proposal that will merge Gambled Prep with Shortridge High School. This after dozens of parents and students expressed concern about the merger. Our TV6 reporter Chance Walser joins us live downtown with the very latest on this. Chance?
Yeah, Erica, that decision comes with mixed reviews tonight. What we're talking about is just part of a superintendent proposed redesign plan. Take a look at some video we shot earlier. As you can see, a large crowd turned out to express their opinions on both sides of this thing, really. The redesign will in part move the International Baccalaureate Program, or IB program, from Gambled Maggot High School to Shortridge High School's campus. They will then move Shortridge's Law and Public Policy program to Arsenal Tech. The school board passed the proposal with a 4-to-1 vote just minutes ago, despite hearing from concerned Shortridge parents like Alfina Gassama.
They want to come over and just take it from us, and we have no say-so in the matter. And it seems like, you know, politics are being played here.
And the other part of this whole big redesign plan was tabled tonight to be taken up in December. That includes moving a Broad Ripple program to Tech and then closing Key Learning Center permanently in June of 2016. So a lot going on here. We'll keep an eye on the latest developments and bring you those in the coming weeks. For now, we're live downtown. Chance Walser, RTV6.
All new at 11, as we prepare for winter and what that means for our daily commute, INDOT is removing a faulty road treatment that many drivers say was damaging their vehicles. A spokesperson tells us crews have removed the faulty chip seal on a 6-mile stretch of State Road 252 between I-65 and the small town of Flat Rock in Shelby County. We're told chip seal projects that fail are rare, but they do happen. In this case, the entire stretch of road will eventually be repaved, but that could take 2 to 3 years.
Brand new tonight, just 2 weeks after she took the court in her college basketball debut, Indiana native Lauren Hill says she's coming to terms that she may never play again. The Mount St. Joseph freshman tells our Scripps station in Cincinnati that she's not as strong as she was during her first game, and her cancerous brain tumor makes every day unpredictable. But Hill also says whatever happens in the next few weeks, she accepts it.
The game's kind of out of sight, out of mind. You know how I say I live in the moment? That game was 2 weeks ago, and I'm not worried about the future either. I'm just worried about spending time with my family right now and the holidays and trying to get to Thanksgiving and, you know, just living in the moment.
Part of living in the moment for Lauren means fundraising for brain cancer research. Today, she presented a check for $58,000 to the Cure Starts Now. All that money was donated by Xavier University, raised from tickets and merchandise from Lauren's first college game.
David Letterman is a bigger influence on me than either of my parents.
Only on RTV6. He's the king of late-night TV, and tonight we're going one-on-one with Jimmy Kimmel. Now, he says David Letterman helped shape his career and even his first car. Coming up next.
Latest forecasts continue to show a big temperature swing for the weekend, but I'll let you know what comes with it.
Now, the News at 11 continues on RTV6.
Right now, we are tracking this blast of winter weather. This is a live look at Carmel, where it is currently 16 chilly degrees. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory will have the full forecast and when the warmer weather will return in just moments.
Only on RTV6, you see him every night after you see us here on the News at 11, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, he's been a staple on late night TV for years, but tonight Dave First is getting to see a new side of him and how he was inspired by one of Indiana's greats.
It's a rare occasion when Jimmy Kimmel is able to talk to a college audience like he did at DePauw this month. Perhaps even rarer when he has a chance to sit down and reflect on his life and role on late night TV.
First question, how does a clarinet playing altar boy from Brooklyn get his own late night talk show?
It's confusing to me more than anyone, probably.
And yet playing to packed audiences in his Hollywood theater, which we visited last January, is a far cry from his humble beginnings.
How many jobs have you been fired from? Because really you're not in broadcasting unless you've been fired at some point.
Besides like landscaping jobs as a kid.
Right.
I was fired from my college radio job, Tampa, Florida. I got fired in Tucson, Arizona. I reached a point where I wasn't qualified to do anything else, and I had to pay rent. I had 2 little kids, and so I just pack everything up and move every year. Sat back down and watched the movie as if nothing had happened.
These days, he's settled down with Jimmy Kimmel Live, now in its 12th year.
The biggest question I want is ABC treating you okay?
Yeah, they're treating me fine. Yeah. Have you heard something? Should I be worried? What have they told you?
Well, because I'm the sports guy that eventually tosses it to you unknowingly at the end of our newscast.
Thank you for tossing.
And so, well, there you go. So I just want to make sure that I'll be doing it for some time. So.
I'll be around for a little while. Yeah. Unless I get fired, which seems to happen a lot.
Jimmy Kimmel. In TV, one thing's led to another. Winning an Emmy as host of Win Ben Stein's Money to co-host of the very popular but very edgy The Man Show on Comedy Central. Its premise, beer, babes, and barely anything else.
By the way, how did that air? Could you air it now?
Well, the
and
funny
get
thing
away
is,
with it?
ABC originally bought The Man Show. It wasn't supposed to be on Comedy Central. Right. It was purchased by ABC. We made a pilot for ABC.
So they were cool with it, the whole premise?
They were cool with the idea of it.
Until they saw it.
And then they saw it and said, what is this? And then we said, well, it's exactly what we told you it was going to be. And they're like, well, we can't put this on ABC.
There's David Letterman, a late-night icon who first came onto the scene in 1982 and who announced that he's set to retire next year. Johnny Carson became Letterman's inspiration 30 years ago. Letterman is Kimmel.
When we think of late-night talk shows in Indiana, we think of David Letterman.
Yes.
How did he influence you, and maybe still influences you in some way?
David Letterman is a bigger influence on me than either of my parents. Honestly, I think he's the biggest influence on American comedy of, like, my lifetime.
When he retires next year, how will that change the complexity of late-night talk shows?
Well, when Dave retires, I mean, for me, it's going to be very sad. I was thinking about it today, actually, and Dave's been on TV since I was, like, 14 years old, I think. And I think it will be very, very strange when he isn't.
Jimmy admits he's unsure of how Letterman's retirement will affect his own show or the late-night ratings. But he's known for putting in 12-hour days, and he's not about to stop now.
There are parts of it that aren't fun. You know, it's a job like any other job. But ultimately, I think the most fun part of the show for me is at the end of the night, almost every night, there's a concert at my job. That's the time when I remind myself that it's a pretty great job.
Thanks so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
And I look forward to tossing it to you for many years to come.
And you know what I like about the way you toss? It's not too soft, where
right.
But it's just where you don't hurt my hand. You just kind of chuck it in there, and I like that.
I try to be easy and yet stern at the same time. I'm not even sure what that means, really, but
the ball knows what it means.
He's right. The ball does know what it means.
Dave and Jimmy, like old pals. You guys seem to hit it off.
Well, we were going to work in Matt Damon, but our apologies to Matt Damon. We ran out of time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, tonight on Jimmy Kimmel's show, he's going to reveal People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. Is it a coincidence that
you're not in? We take it.
Gregory's here. You're here. Yeah. I'm here. So.
It could be.
It ain't us, apparently.
I don't know.
It'll be a good show, though.
That was a lot of fun, our thanks to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, very good interview.
And tonight, right? Here we go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
11:35.
You can always catch Jimmy Kimmel live right here on RTV6 every night after the news.
Make sure the toss is soft. Okay.
He's in one of the few places in the country that's still warm, California. As we get to our weather tomorrow, the wind is going to come back. We'll see gusts up to 30 miles per hour. It's out of a positive, warmer direction. So we climb above freezing. We won't enjoy it as much as if temperatures it wasn't as windy in 35. Chance for snow showers will be around. Let's take this in 2-hour increments. Temperatures in the morning still lower teens, but watch, we climb to 29 by the time we get to noon, above the freezing mark in the middle of the afternoon. As you go to Thursday, temperatures are still starting cool. Afternoon temperatures, a little bit of a setback from where we'll be at 35 tomorrow, 28 on Thursday. Friday, we'll end the work week with clouds increasing, temperature of 30. Those clouds lead to a chance for some freezing rain Friday night and early Saturday before temperatures warm up. Look at these low temperatures, and you can see how a dramatic improvement there by Sunday morning, where temperatures will be at 40 for the low. High temperatures will be doing the same thing, climbing all the way into the 50s by Sunday afternoon. Weekend forecast includes that wintry mix possible early Saturday, otherwise a wet, mild, kind of rainy Sunday. Sunday temperatures by noon already at 49. 54 will be the magic number for the high temperature. Later next week, the exact timing of this, sometime around Thanksgiving or the day after, looks like another big push of colder air sweeping into the eastern half of the country. Here's your 7-day planner. Temperatures tomorrow at 35. Won't feel that warm, though, because of the warmth, or because of the wind taking away some of that warmth. Yeah, I wish. There's the warmth on the right-hand side of the screen when we get into the 50s.
The weekends.
Yeah, that's a lot
It's
better.
not tossing to Kimball, but here's Dave.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I moved over here. That's okay. The Colts call it a season for their lead running back today, but welcome another former Cleveland Brown. And plenty of college basketball star power at the Fieldhouse tonight, including one of the top freshmen in the country. 17 national championships between these 4 schools tonight. Highlights of the Champions Classic. It's next.